Hey you guys, this is Russell, and I want to make you a quick video. Well, it's not even that quick, because I got some really cool stuff to share with you. Anyway, I did a presentation probably 5 or 6 years ago at Stompernet, that back before Stompernet went under, that was talking about how to take a business from 6 figures a year to 7 to 8, and people loved it. And then Dan Kennedy liked it so much he had me come out, and I spoke at their huge event speaking about it. And just recently, I was trying to put this whole concept in something really tangible people could learn from, and so I created this really cool handout called the Lifeline of a Lead that goes through all of the steps of what I talked about during that presentation. And so what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to make a video with you, just kind of a Camtasia video, and I'm going to go through all these things right here. Because when you understand this, literally almost overnight it'll change your business, because you realize, man, no wonder I'm not getting enough traffic or enough sales, or all the things you may be struggling with right now. I guarantee most of them will come down to some kind of issue you have with the lifeline of your lead. And when you understand this process, you'll make a lot more money. So I'm going to walk you guys through this concept right now. Yeah, let's go. Let's jump right in. Here it is on my computer. All right, let's go. Okay, so I'm super excited to share this stuff with you. I've rarely had a chance to talk about this kind of thing with people. And so the reason why I'm sending this to you is because you signed up for the .com Secrets Labs book, so you understand that this is not just some game, but you're in this real business to have success. And so I feel like I finally have an outlet to share some really cool marketing stuff with people, and so this is why you're getting this cool video. So as you know, in .com Secrets Labs, we talked a lot about the conversion elements on your squeeze page and your sales page and the back end sales and things like that. But what a lot of people don't understand is there's so many more things that go into conversion than just the on-page stuff. In fact, if you notice in this this lifeline of a lead here, the first time I ever even talk about landing pages is clear over here on step number 4, which is where I'm qualifying my subscribers. Okay, but there's 3 whole steps ahead of time that all have huge effects on conversion rates that we haven't even talked about before we get to the squeeze page. Okay, and so that's what this lifeline of a lead is talking about, is all the stuff that happens before someone gets to your website that can affect conversion, and all things that happen after your website to affect conversion. Okay, and there's a lot of stuff. In fact, I'm going to actually start right here on step number 3, your pre-frame wall, and then I'll come back here and we'll go through the whole thing. But this will help illustrate the importance of why all the stuff we're talking about is so important on your conversions. Okay, if any of you guys had a chance to read the book Sway, in that book they shared a really cool case study, and I'm gonna kind of paraphrase it back to you, and I'm sure my numbers will be wrong, but conceptually it's correct. They took a college classroom with like 900 students, and they wanted to do this test on pre-framing. Okay, and so they had this guy come in, and he was a substitute teacher. And before he came in, they walked into class and said, "Hey, what we're going to do is we have this new substitute teacher coming in, and before he starts speaking, I want you guys to read his bio so you get to know who he is." And so they took this his bio, and they handed it out to all the students in the classroom. They had them read through, a 2 or 3 paragraph bio about who this guy was. Now, what they didn't know is that half of the students, their paper said, well, the bios were identical except for one word was different. Half the students, it said that Mr. So-and-so was a very warm teacher, and the other half of the students said Mr. So-and-so is a very cold teacher. Okay, and that's all that it said. Other than that, the bios were identical. So handed it out, 50% had one, 50% had the other. The teacher came in, he lectured for 90 minutes, he left, and then after he left, they surveyed all the students to find out what they thought about this guy. And what was interesting is that they took the surveys and they matched them back to the people based on the bios they had. And it was something like 90% of people who had the bios that said he was a warm teacher said, Mr. So-and-so was amazing. He was super empathetic. His teaching style was powerful. It really resonated with me, and I learned a lot from his lecture. And then the people who had the bio that said he was a cold teacher said things like, Mr. So-and-so was he was hard to understand. He didn't empathize with me. It seemed like he was talking down to me the whole time, and they had the completely opposite experience. Okay, and if you look at it, they both sat through the exact same lecture. The only difference was the pre-frame that person came through before they listened to the lecture. Okay, and what's interesting is that same thing is happening online all the time. One of my very first mentors, his name is Mark Joyner, he told me, I heard him say one time, he said that not all clicks are created equal. And he said, for example, if someone was on a website and they saw a page that said, "Hey, Russell Brunson sucks, he's a horrible person, his teaching's annoying, he says too much, and I can't stand him, click here to see his newest product," and someone clicks on that and comes to your page, versus somebody seeing a page that says, "Hey, Russell Brunson's amazing, he's changed my life, I listened to 2 things he said, I applied to my business, and we ended up making an extra $1 million a year, click here to see his newest product." What's the mindset difference between these 2 people? Okay, which one's going to make me more money? Okay, obviously that's a pretty simple one, but that's something that's happening every single day. People are coming to your website, and you have no idea how they're getting there. Sometimes you do, but the things we do before they get to the website have so much impact. I would say as much, if not more impact than all the conversion elements on the page. And so that's what I want to talk about with you guys, is all the things you control up here, plus all the things you control back here. And when you start understanding that, you can make way more money. Okay, so we're going to start back here with step number 1, which is your traffic temperature. Okay, and a lot of people don't even know this, is that there's different types of traffic that you can have coming to your website. And the way you write to each of these and the messages for all of them need to be different. So yes, I'm sure some of you guys are wondering, so Russell, you saying I need multiple landing pages? And the answer is yes, depending on the type of traffic you're driving. Okay, so with this, we have broken down our traffic into hot traffic, warm traffic, and cold traffic. Okay, and the bridge, this is the ad bridge, this is the path they're going to be coming to my website through, is going to be different for each type of traffic. Okay, now hot traffic, for example, is people who are already on my list, or they're subscribers to my blog or my podcast or whatever, but they know who I am, they love me. The way the way I'm going to talk to this traffic is going to be way different. Okay, I'm going to be very personality based. I'm going to share my opinions, my stories, and I'm going to just tell them stuff like that. And that's the bridge right here I'm going to take them through. Typically my bridge for warm traffic is very short. It's like, hey, I just created this new thing. If you want to check it out, it's over here. Boom. Because they already have that relationship with me. Okay, and so that's a very simple step over here. Now, the second is warm traffic. These are people who don't really have a relationship with you yet, but usually they have a relationship with somebody you know. This is like your typical joint venture traffic, okay? Joint venture partners or affiliates where somebody else has a relationship with that person and they're just endorsing you, okay? So this bridge is a little bit longer, but not quite as bad to get them over to your website. Now, if you look back in the days of direct mail, the way that people would do this little ad bridge to warm traffic is they would do something called the lift letter. So for example, let's say you had a list of 100,000 buyers that I wanted to send a letter out to, my sales letter, my offer. You would go and you would take my sales letter, but you would write a lift letter on top saying, hey, this is a special offer for my friend Russell. He's awesome. You're going to love him, blah, 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 blah. And they kind of do this lift letter. And then underneath it has my sales letter. And they'd mail this thing out. And that lift letter, your personal endorsement, would increase the conversions dramatically. Okay, now online, we do the same thing with joint venture partners, right? They blog about you, or they send an email to their list, and they endorse you. And that is the bridge. That little simple bridge is how they bring you over here to your website. Okay. Now, cold traffic. And this is really the holy grail. If you want to scale a business infinitely, you have to learn how to convert to cold traffic. Okay, most people I know can't do this. Most people can convert like crazy to their own list, their JV partners list they can convert to, but they can't get cold traffic. They're stuck. They can't get an offer to convert in cold, and so their universe is very, very small. They can't grow it any bigger. And so when you can learn how to convert to cold traffic, this is the holy grail, you guys. This is how you take a business from 6 to 7 to 8 to 9 figures a year, is by being able to sell to cold traffic. So let me explain that a little more. Cold traffic, for example, if you were to go to the food court at the mall and you walk in there and there's all these people are eating lunch, right? And if you were to walk up to them and say, hey, this is my product, would you be interested in it? Usually, if you have like a warm traffic product or an offer you're selling your warm list, usually people are going to be confused. For example, we have a membership site that teaches people how to build a list and to drive traffic to their website. Now, if I went to the food court and I said, hey, you guys, I got this product, teach you how to build a list. Who's interested? Okay, my guess is that nobody in the food court right now even knows what a list is. Okay, I'm using terminology and verbiage that doesn't make sense to them. And so what happens, a lot of you guys, that's what you do. You have a membership site or you have a product teaching people how to do something like that. You go and you try to drive cold traffic from Facebook or PPC or whatever it is, and nobody's buying. It's because you're talking to them in language they don't understand. So for cold traffic, I have to take my offer and make it more general and make it bigger. So for example, with our .com Secrets X site, which is a traffic and list building membership site, for it to convert to cold traffic, we had to go and create a different funnel that basically, on step one, it gives people gives them away a free money making website. Okay, and if I was walking the food court and say, hey, who here wants a free money making website? Okay, everyone's going to understand what that is. It's not a difficult thing for them to explain. So they get that free website, and then the next page, I create a bridge page, and this bridge page basically says, hey, we're going to send you your free website. You're going to get it here in a minute. But did you realize that having a website's good, but if people aren't coming to your website, notice right there I said people and not traffic, because again, cold traffic, someone from a cold list is not going to know what traffic is. I say people aren't coming to your website. And then I explained to him, people in my world, we call people traffic. So if you want traffic to your website, you've got to learn how to get people, how to get traffic to your website, and you have to learn how to build a list of emails of people who want to buy your product, and you can send emails to them. And I bridged this gap from this cold traffic world into what it is I'm trying to sell, and then from there, then I push them. So I have this bridge page. All it does is it bridges the gap from my cold traffic offer to my offer I want to sell them. And I bridge that gap and I push them through that, and boom, now when they come to my page and they say, oh, a website on how to drive traffic, that makes sense. Now I know why I need traffic, because I have this free website, but I need traffic now. Okay, and that's how I bridge the gap with cold traffic. Okay, now for you guys, it's gonna be the same thing. For example, with our supplement. Okay, our supplement sells people who have neuropathy. So if I get a list of neuropathy sufferers, it's really, really easy. But what if my list doesn't have neuropathy? How do I get those people to buy? Okay, well, we also, our supplement helps people with neuropathy, but it also helps people have nerve pain. Now, nerve pain is a cold traffic offer. A lot of people have neuropathy, they don't even know they have it, but they know they have nerve pain. So I talk to them saying, hey, we've got nerve pain, we help you cure your nerve pain. It opens up my universe 10 times bigger. And I come in and say, hey, if you got nerve pain, it's probably coming from this thing called neuropathy. Okay, and I explain them what that is, then I push them over to my sales message. Okay, so whatever product it is you guys are selling, I promise you need to make sure you're matching the traffic temperature with the path and the bridge you're taking them through. Okay, if you're not, that's probably one of the reasons why you're not able to scale your business right now. Okay, all right, so you take them through, you find out what kind of traffic temperature, you take them through your ad bridge. The next thing is your pre-frame wall. Okay, and we talked a little bit about this. Your pre-frame wall is just the thing that they're entering your website through. So a lot of times it's an ad, sometimes it's an article, sometimes it's an endorsement. But this pre-frame wall is important, guys. Whatever it is, and usually it's going to be different. Usually with the hot traffic, usually I'm just making a video of me saying, hey guys, this is what's going to be happening. The next page I'm going to tell you about this cool product I've got. It's going to change your life. Click here. Okay. Usually my hot traffic pre-frame wall is like an iPhone video of me. With warm traffic, typically it could be an iPhone video. It might just be, the email endorsement from the person could be just the pre-frame. It doesn't have to be a separate page. Sometimes it's just the ad that they're coming through. And then with cold traffic, sometimes I'm taking them to an article to read. Sometimes I'm taking them to like a news site. There can be things I'm taking them through to help warm them up and help pre-frame them before they come to my actual offer. Okay, so there's step 1, 2, and 3. Step number 4 now is and again, I'm not talking about actual conversion elements because that's what the whole .com Secrets Labs product was about. But we're taking them through a page, and my goal is to take all this traffic we're driving from hot, warm, cold, all this traffic we're driving, and we're trying to see who of all this traffic is willing to give me their email address in exchange for money. That's my only goal right now, because they're not willing to give me their email address. Their email address in exchange for information, then they're not going to give me money later. So my first goal is, who of all these people is willing to give me their email address in exchange for information? And that's why I have our squeeze page. I'm taking, let's say we get 1,000 visitors come to a site. I want to find out from those 1,000 people who are willing to give me their email address. And boom, that's what we get here with our squeeze page. So let's say we get 30% of their email address. Now we have 300 people who I know are willing to give me their email address in exchange for information. Okay. Now I'm talking to a warm audience, people who are actually likely to purchase from me. Okay. And after they got the email out, obviously now I can have a whole follow-up sequence, things like that to close them. But that's my first step. Then my immediate next step, and notice I said immediate, not like a week later or a month later, but immediately after they've given me the email address, the next page, I want to find out of those 300 people, how many of these people are buyers. Okay. One thing I learned from Dan Kennedy, who's one of my first mentors in this business, is he said, a buyer is a buyer is a buyer. Someone who buys things will continue to buy things. Okay, and so I want to find out as quick as possible, if all these people came to a website, who is actually willing to open up their wallet, pull out a credit card, type in their numbers, and click submit. Because that type of person is different. Okay, they are a buyer. So what I want to do on this page, I want to create an irresistible offer, something that's so amazing that any of my dream clients is going to buy it because it's so good. But I want to make the barrier so low that I get everyone who might be a buyer, I want them to buy this thing. I want to find out who of all my subscribers are buyers. Okay, so usually I have a free plus shipping offer or a $5 offer, a $7 offer, something very, very cheap. But I'm doing this to find out who are my buyers. Because when I know who my buyers are, I can market those people a little bit differently, right? I may be willing to pick up the phone and talk to them, or maybe send them a letter in the mail, or maybe put them through a different sequence. But I know that they're buyers. And like I said, a buyer is a buyer is a buyer. So now I know who are my prime prospects for whatever else it is I want to sell. Okay. So again, traffic's back here. All the traffic comes here. We find out who is willing to actually give us their email address, who are our subscribers, and then who are our buyers. Now I've got two segments. I've got my subscriber segment and my buyer segment. And again, we're going to speak to each of these people differently. Okay. And if you're not speaking to them differently in your funnel right now, probably a big mistake. Okay. All right. Now after I got my buyers, my next step is not only want to find out who my buyers are, I want to find out who my hyperactive buyers are. Okay. A person who's a hyperactive buyer, I would consider myself a hyperactive buyer a lot of times. For example, about 2 years ago, I took my team. We went bowling, and bowling happens to be my third favorite sport, behind wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and then bowling's number third. And so we went out bowling, and I love bowling. And I'm not bad. I'm not amazing, but I can hold my own, right? And I used to. Anyway, I have my own bowling ball and stuff like that, and I wanted to like show off to my friends, my team. And we're going out the bowling, and one dude beats me, and he's a guy who wasn't that good, but he just was like. You know, sometimes people just get good. They've got the hot hand and everything they throw just works. So he's out there and he beats me and just makes fun of me in front of all my friends. And I'm just like, I was so frustrated. I was in pain, right? So that night I went home, got online. I started buying all this bowling stuff, bowling books and gloves and balls. And I was a buyer in heat, okay? I was a hyperactive buyer who was buying a bunch of stuff right then. And that's what you're looking for is of all these people who just bought, who are your hyperactive buyers? Who are going to buy a lot of things? Who's the person who's in pain right now and wants a solution today? Okay. And you want to be able to offer something to them, because if not, that person's going to be just like me, and they're going to get done buying your product and then go to the next website, because they're in pain right now and they want to solve that pain. Okay. For me, the next day, 2 or 3 days later, I'd forgotten about the bowling and I was out of heat. I was no longer a hyperactive buyer, but during that little period of time I was. Okay. And that's what's going to happen to you guys. People are going to be coming through your funnels, and they're going to be coming at a time when they're in pain. And so you want to find out, obviously you're helping them right here, but then you want to find out the ones that are hyperactive, and you want to offer them more things. So usually you have an upsell or a downsell, but we're offering them more things right here. And that's going to help us find out who are our hyperactive buyers, who is in a lot of pain right now and wants help today. Okay. That's why we usually sell people a couple other things, upsells and downsells. Okay, if you bought any of my products, you notice we sell upsells and downsells, because I'm trying to identify which ones of you guys are hyperactive buyers. Okay, a lot of times I can get someone to buy this front thing, and they may buy some more stuff in the future, but there's some of you guys who are like me who will buy thing after thing after thing, and you want to consume as much of it as possible. And I want to find out who those people are, because guess what? I'm going to approach and talk to those people differently as well. Okay. So I'm identifying hyperactives. Now, usually at this point, this is where like the point of sale kind of ends. Okay. This is usually all happening from somebody coming through this funnel. This is all happening in 10, 15 minutes usually. And then it kind of ends. Okay. Now from here, we've got 2 more steps, and this is how we take this relationship and really help take them to the next level. Okay. The next thing we do is step number 7 here is we age and ascend the relationship. Okay, so somebody comes into my funnel, they bought something, I'm hoping to give them an amazing experience. I want to give them some awesome stuff, they get some good value. Now I want to take them through a process to help strengthen our relationship and help send them up to more expensive things that provide more value. Okay, this is a little picture here of what I call my value ladder. Okay, the bottom of the value ladder is something that's usually not very much money, but they receive some value. And if they get value at this point, they're naturally going to want to send up to the next level. And they get value at this point, they're going to naturally want to send it to the next level and keep going up to the top. Okay. And so for me in my business, I always have my top level thing here. Like what's the best thing I could possibly give somebody to help them in their business? Now for me, the best thing I have is my inner circle. My inner circle, we've got different price points. There's an $8,000, a $15,000, and a $25,000 package. But those are like where you get the most one-on-one help from me, where I actually sit down with your business and I help restructure, and I look at it and I figure out your funnels, and and you get a lot of personal attention with me. In fact, at the $15,000 level, you come to Boise 3 times during the year, you work with me, and I get to like literally look at your business, move things around, and just make it work better. Okay, $25,000, you get that, plus you get even more personal attention with me in a very intimate setting. Okay. And now for me, this is like my dream thing. This is the best thing I could possibly offer somebody. But let's say I came back here and I went to the food court and I walked these guys and said, hey, you guys, who here's got a website? Maybe 10 people do. And I would come to them, okay, this is the deal. For $25,000, you can hang out with me 3 times during the year. You get a bunch of the really cool training and coaching, and I can take your business and change your life forever. What are those people going to say? they're going to look at me and say, Russell, you look like you're 11 years old. How in the world are you going to help me with my business, right? And that's kind of what normally happens. And so that's what happens is I take somebody through this funnel to prove to them that I can provide value. Okay, they buy this front end thing, they get value. They buy some upsells, they get value. And if they get a value, they're naturally going to want to send it to the next thing. Okay, and if they get value at this level, they're going to want to send it to the next and the next. And pretty soon they come up here to 25,000 to 15,000, 8,000, and it makes total sense for them. They're like, yes, this makes sense, Russell. I've received value at every single point along the line. I know you know what you're talking about. I feel like I've received so much value so far. If I'm up here, I can't even imagine how much value I'm going to get from you. Okay, so we take someone through a value ladder. All right, with your business, it's going to be different. What's the most expensive thing you can sell someone that's going to provide them the most value? That should be your goal. Okay, all these front-end products I sell are awesome, you guys. I think they can change people's lives, but I promise you that if you get in a room with me for a couple days, I can really change your life forever. Okay, and that should be your focus as well. What is your top-level thing that you can do that can change people's lives the most? And now you got to create a system in place to ascend somebody up to that level. Okay, now typically, and this is where step number 8 comes in, typically it's difficult to sell somebody online super expensive things. Okay, because people are they're on their computer, they're in their cubicle, they're in their pattern. You have to figure out a way to change the selling environment. Okay, how can you sell to them differently that's going to break their pattern and help them to ascend up? Okay, so typically when you're selling higher ticket things, you sell it through the phone, through direct mail, it might be through a seminar or event, but you have to change the selling environment. Okay, if I send an email out to you guys and have a form that had a $25,000 button, you're probably not going to click on it, or an $8,000 button, or whatever it is. Okay, but if I can change that selling environment and get to a spot where we can communicate at a different level, my likelihood of ascending you up, changing our relationship and ascending up to the higher levels is going to be much more likely and much more possible. Okay, so that's kind of the lifeline of a lead, you guys. And I want you guys to sit down and take this worksheet, print it out, and look at your business and kind of go through it. Say, the warm traffic that I'm driving, what's the bridge I'm taking someone over? What's the pre-frame I'm taking them through before they hit my landing page? Now, my landing page, I'm qualifying my subscribers. Now, how am I qualifying my buyers? How am I sending up my hyperactive buyers? Now, how am I taking people through a value ladder to get them to what they really need the most? Okay, what's the most value you can possibly provide someone? What is that thing? And what's the process I'm going to take somebody through? Okay, and how can I sell them? Can I put them on a webinar, a teleseminar, a phone call, direct mail, a seminar? How can I change the selling environment so I can affect them in a way that I normally couldn't? Okay, that's the problem. I wish that I could. Every one of you guys watching this video, I wish I could pick you up, fly you to Boise so I could actually work with your business. Okay, but I'm guessing that there's no way you're just going to click a button and send me $25,000. It doesn't work that way. But hopefully I'm providing enough value along the way that you see the value of this top level thing. Same thing for you guys. What is the best possible thing you can provide somebody? Map that out, and then now this is your goal. After you've identified these people, how can I market to my subscribers to get them to join my highest level program? How can I market to my buyers to get them? Okay, my buyers, maybe I'm sending them out direct mail. Maybe I'm calling them on the phone. Okay, and then my hyperactives, who I know are spending a lot of money, man, maybe I personally email them. Maybe I invite them to come to my office for a day for a free thing. Maybe, what can I do differently to each of these different segments? Okay, and get them to ascend up your value ladder, because this is really the key, you guys, for everyone, is to get someone at the top of your value ladder, because that's where you can provide the most value and change their life literally overnight. Okay, and so that's kind of it for this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the lifeline of lead, and I want you to really again focus on your own business and figure out how to plug these pieces in and what you're doing right now. And if you're interested in having my help with this process, again, I don't just teach this stuff. I actually apply it every single day. I would love to talk to you guys on the phone. I want to change the environment for two reasons. One is I want to get to know you guys, and we can do a lot of stuff for free just talking to you on the phone. But second off, if you're the right fit, I would love to be able to provide my top level value where you come and I can work with you one-on-one and really affect and change your business. Now, if you'd be interested in that, I want to do something really, really special for you. I think will be cool for you. You have a chance to see the process of how we do it and how we're going to teach you to do it as well. But I'd love to invite you to apply for my Inner Circle program. And to apply, all you do is go to innercircle.comsecrets.com. You'll come right here. You see a video of me talking about our company playbook. And you actually see pictures of it back here. In our company, we use 14 different types of sales funnels. And all those 14 kind of tie into this. This is kind of the high-level structure of the lifeline of a lead. But again, for cold traffic, we take people through a different funnel than warm traffic, and different funnel than hot traffic. And I broke it down. There's 14 types of sales funnels that we use in our business. And again, you can see them all back here on this wall. And you can see little pictures of them down here as well. But if you like more information about our Inner Circle program, and also to get my 14 sales funnels for free, all you got to do is apply to talk to one of my coaches. Again, go to innercircle.dotcomsecrets.com. You'll take this page right here. You'll see this video from me about 5 minutes long talking about these different sales funnels, how they work. You'll kind of see a little image of them here. You fill out the application here, click Get Started. The next page will take you to an application page where you can tell me about your business, and we'll see if you're a good fit. If you're a good fit, we'll get on the phone with you. We'll look at your business, and regardless of if you decide to work with us or not, we'll send you these 14 funnels so you can use them in your own business. If we do decide to work with you, you'll literally have a chance to come hang out with me in Boise a couple times a year. We'll have some fun, and you'll be amazed at what we can do with your business in a short period of time. And on this page is kind of cool. We got testimonials from Tony Robbins. I had a chance to speak at some of his events and do some training with his people, and had a lot of success. And also with Bill Glazer, who was the owner of GKIC. He was Dan Kennedy's business partner for years, and we had a chance to work with him and his clients for years, helping transform their businesses online. So again, if you guys are interested in that, all you got to do is go to innercircle.dotcomsecrets.com, and they'll take you to this application page. But love for you to fill out the application. We can talk to you a little bit about your sales funnels, what you're looking like right now, and help you kind of get something like this structured in your business right away. That's about it, you guys. Thanks again. And again, to sign up or to apply for our Inner Circle, just go to innercircle.dotcomsecrets.com, and I'll talk to you soon.